Yes, the deer. There's quite a few deer here as well. That's right. They sleep in there. Wow. Okay. Oh no. All right. This is wonderful. And I'm gonna go.
In 92, 93, with the previous shovel test they went on, they also put in a couple units. They put in a 1x3 unit here where they hit the corner, right here where they hit a corner of some brick that they liked, so they expanded it out and it became a 3x17 foot excavation hole, and it turns out they were in the cellar of what is this structure. Everyone can see here, you know, we have the exposed wall that runs up kind of an L zigzag shape at 90-degree angles. We put our excavation unit here to be in the middle so we could sample the cellar and see what more we can find out about the structural element. These are the tiers of what we're thinking is the foundation wall of what I'm thinking is the courthouse of Warwick Town.
And that's why I asked you to remember the 1810 courthouse. Looks just like this.
Homemade brick, sir.
Locally made brick. I don't know if homemade brick.
So it's very, I mean, all of these locations, all of these port towns came with design plans. They were all replicated. So there was no real individuality.
It was the regimented British way.
Yes.
And each one of these 15 towns was supposed to look exactly the same way.
So it's not surprising that this would replicate what was then created in 1810 up in Denby. So just to refresh yourself, you might want to go by there at some point and look at that again. But you can see they have, the archaeologists, New South Associates, they have traced a line to about here.
Yeah.
And then they're suspecting it goes further. Then this is your cutout. And then where Ken is standing. And then back again this way. And it probably at some point, what was left of it just crumbled in and the brick was reused.
Correct.
Nothing was just left around.
Well, you are standing on the subsoil. If you'll see, we've removed the topsoil. And after hundreds of years of erosion, the topsoil is quite a bit deflated. You know, chances are the topsoil was up to my thigh. Then the building was on top of that. So we are looking at the deep part of the structure here. The structure was sitting up here. And we're just looking at
basically the entrance to the basement.
Well, the structure was here, and what was underneath, we don't know if this is a formal basement or if it's just underneath the building. We're looking for the floor. We've got some mortar floor, and we're investigating that to see if we've got the very foundation floor. But the next thing we did was use our GPR data and a very strong young person with a metal probe. And we think we tried to find the corner back here, and I believe we were successful. So we've gotten the front of the structure and the back of the structure, and now we're figuring out a way to sample everything in the basement. Because this is 17th, 18th century materials that we're getting here. I'm convinced it's the courthouse because although we're getting datable material, we're getting very few we're getting ceramics, but very few. We're not getting a lot of bottles, not getting a lot of pipes. We're getting scant amounts of all that. Fortunately enough to date, but if you're in a tavern or if you're in your house, there's going to be a lot of ceramics. There's going to be a lot of glass. There's going to be a lot of bottles. This is more structural materials, so I'm thinking this is more of a civil building than a domestic building.